lost Aria at Kestrel's Deep back in '63. A city buried in the dust where nobody wanted to be. The mission was a simple sweep: patrol the broken streets, check for signs of enemy movement, then bring the lance home free. Aria rode a Talos, old armor, battered steel, one of those machines that showed you every war it had to feel. She kept that old girl running when most would have scrapped the frame. Said every scar was just a story, every dent another name. She was the one who'd crack a joke when the tension got too high, the one who'd stand beside you when the rounds began to fly. Never chased glory, never needed songs of fame, just a damn good pilot who always brought us home again. Then the buildings came alive and the whole street turned to flame. An AC-20 round found her cockpit before anyone saw a thing. No final words, no last goodbye, no warning before the call, just another name we carried home. Death comes for us all. That same year we lost old John at Asphalt Ridge out west. A Clint pilot, old and steady, one of the very best. He'd marched beside this company longer than all the other men, still climbed into that cockpit time and time again. His Clint was held together more by patches than by steel. The orders came from way up high, roll out before it's healed. The techs were still replacing parts when command called mountain run. John just nodded, sealed the hatch, and said, let's get it done. The mission turned bad fast, the intel never matched the ground. Enemy forces hit us harder than the reports had written down. When John started burning, he reached for the way out, but the ejection system failed him, and there was no escape now. The brass knew what they sent him in, they knew the price he'd pay. They needed every mech they had, so they pushed him anyway. John answered the call, they gave the order, watched him die. Death comes for us all. Tanya was the heart of the lance, the one who kept us all alive. A Thor pilot with a gentle soul, the kind you rarely find. She'd patch us up after every fight, make sure we made it home. The one who made a battlefield feel a little less alone. She'd smile about her Thor's design, the cockpit out of sight, buried in the center where the enemy couldn't bite. She'd say the armor would hold when everything else would fall. That Thor was built to bring her home, no matter what they'd call. The flamers caught her hard, turned the Thor into a furnace bright. The temperature kept climbing, she was glowing in the night. No ejection seat, no way out, no chance to break free. The armor that kept her safe became the cage she couldn't leave. The cockpit became an oven and the comm was open wide. We heard Tanya screaming while the fire burned inside. We called her name through static, but there was nothing we could do. We cut the feed while she was still alive, and carried that with us too. Death comes for us all. 67 now, on a moon beyond the stars. Another war, another world, another graveyard full of scars. This time we broke their lines, we watched the enemy retreat. We won another battle, but I still lost another piece. My mech is still standing, but the cockpit's torn apart. The round came through the canopy, left me bleeding in the dark. The alarms are getting weaker, oxygen is running thin. They tell me rescue's coming, but they know I won't see it. I hear the new kids on the comms, their voices barely known. And Liza and Aries Tallow still scared inside that throne. Marcus and John's old Clint thinks the scars are just paint. Rachel and Tanya's Thor hasn't learned what battles take. They weren't there at Kestrel's deep, they never heard those calls. They never watched good pilots die behind those armor walls. My friends should be here beside me, not these kids taking their place. But time keeps moving forward, and it forgets every face. My vision's getting darker, and the cold is creeping in. I've spent my life surviving, but I know how this one ends. I watched my whole lance disappear, watched the best of us all fall. Now I'm the name they'll carry home. Death comes for us all.